Good, okay. So before we get started, maybe we could just quickly introduce the jury. They're all sitting here in front. Maybe you guys just want to stand up and face, and I'll just announce each person. You can just sort of raise your hand so that people know who the jury are. Okay. So we have Kai-Uwe Binzeil from the Berlin Partner for Business and Technology. Andreas Gebhardt from Republica. Jutta Klauer von Pfizer. Karen Knupfmin-Haper from the German Federal Ministry of Health. Jorn Cooper from Helmholtz Association. Shari Langemark from Medscape Germany. Markus Müschenich von Bundesverband Internet Medicine. And Klaus Stuckermann von Peppermint Venture Partners. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so our first finalist. So some of us might have heard of house calls. That was some quaint thing that doctors used to do back in the Victorian ages, I think, when doctors actually visited people in their houses. And we all know what Doctors Without Borders are. This, now we have Doctors Without Borders making house calls or something like that. I guess Janko Brand and his startup OneWorldDoctors from Germany will now explain that. Let's give a warm welcome to Janko Brand. I guess, so. Is that working? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. My name is Janko Brandt. I'm co-founder of OneWorldDoctors. And the idea for this organization came in 2014 when Ebola struck in West Africa. Since my background is infection biology, I was asked by the Robert Koch Institute to support the European mobile lab they installed in Guinea by evaluating laboratory results. I was willing to help, but I couldn't go for the 3-month stay abroad due to my professional duties I had to fulfill in Berlin. In addition, the infection, the risk of self-infection let me not go to this aid mission. But I offered to evaluate the data at home in my spare time, and that's where the idea for OneWorldDoctors came. And this personal experience made me aware of the huge differences in the density of physicians, co-workers, medical co-workers, and nurses worldwide. And in red, you can see the countries suffering from medical shortage and in need for medical experts. On the other hand, there are medical professionals which are not able to fully utilize their expertise to help their colleagues. So potential for improving healthcare is wasted, and that's where OneWorldDoctors come in. Our solution is simply put, Doctors Without Borders from home. So the platform will enable medical specialists to help their peers in need. And the OneWorldDoctors platform will use the skill-based volunteering potential which exists in the medical community by providing suggestions and thereby improving the healthcare in underserved regions. And how does that work? A requested doctor can upload a case on the OneWorldDoctors platform using the API for medical device provider. Additional lab data can enrich these cases, and thereby the experts can give quality-ensured suggestions, which will result in a better diagnosis and a better treatment of the patients. With the team of young professionals in the field of biochemistry, data security, infection biology, and finances, we are equipped to set up this platform. Within the next year, we will launch the platform for the first niche market, which will be Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS. We will enrich cases through auto-integration of lab data and thereby facilitate 50+ cases a day. Currently, we are looking for more MERS specialists to join us. We will increase the partnership with medical device provider and seed investment. Oh, okay, Tom.
Thanks, Janko. Okay, you can stay up here, stay up here. A question from the jury? Anybody?
Tom and Alex from the team.
Oh, okay. No questions from the jury. Okay, great.
In the end of the day, this is philanthropy, or you would like to earn money with this company?
Our goal is to be financially sustainable, so we're not doing this as a charity effort. We're aiming to earn money through partnerships with medical device providers, but also targeting the national health institutions to finance this service.
Okay, thank you very much. So sometimes the most powerful ideas aren't about having groundbreaking technology, but rather how to get basic services to places that lack infrastructure. Please welcome Joshua Okello, presenting WinSenga from Uganda.
Hello, and hola, if we have any Spanish speakers here. My name is Joshua Okello. I'm co-founder and CEO at Wynn Sangha. We are driven by a simple desire. We think that giving birth and bringing a child into this world should be safe and a joy for everyone in the world, regardless of where you stay. Now, we know that every year you have over 2 million infant deaths and over 200,000 mothers die from pregnancy or childbirth-related complications. But why do we have this? We found that, of course, it's a really complex issue, but mostly it's within 3 areas. Number one, you don't have the equipment to do your job properly as a doctor. Records are still largely paper-based, which means nothing is really integrated. So what do you do for a midwife like Prosi here, who has been a midwife for over 25 years? She has a cheap Android phone in her pocket, but she's still using 200-year-old technology, which is this, a fetoscope developed in 1799. Now, what you do for her is that you build for her a product that is portable, it is accurate, and works without internet. And that is exactly what we've done with WinSenga. We build pocketable ultrasounds that connect with the phone such that she can monitor the baby's heart rate. And when I say pocketable, I mean truly pocketable. So we have some competition, of course. Some doctors here would recognize Sonic Aid, but the problem with Sonic Aid and devices like this is that they are still largely expensive. You're looking at $500, $600 US. Our going to market price is $100 US. Of course, we are targeting mostly health centers and doctors who can afford this, and this is for me one of the really interesting things about WinSenga, that this can also be played out in the developed economy by working as a Fitbit for pregnancy in the lifestyle arena. Our model is simple. Buy our device, have a free app, and then we make more money through services that we offer through the app. Our team is quite big. I've been building web and mobile solutions for the last 6 years for the likes of Microsoft, UNFPA, and all those people. We have a doctor we consult with. He's been a gynecologist for over 30 years. Our partners have been Microsoft and a number of them that you can see over there. We've spoken to over 100 different providers in 8 countries. We just got through an accelerator, Startup Chile. If you don't know Startup Chile, we came in 3rd for their demo day. And next year, we want to bring this product to market. We've just finished a protocol in Uganda to start a clinical trial and have this on the market as soon as possible. We know that midwives who are well equipped do much better jobs than us, and we think that we can help them make better care and better medical decisions. Thank you very much. We are Wynn Sangha and we believe in safe and magical births.
Thank you very much. Stay up here. Stay. Thanks, Joshua. Do we have any questions from the jury? All right.
Thank you. Very interesting presentation.
Well, thank you.
I was wondering why providing the device is one thing, right? But
Sure.
educating the medical professionals how to interpret the images, how do you do that?
So that's where WinSenga comes in. What we're building is something that thinks for itself. We know that most midwives are not that experienced. In fact, I don't know if I have someone from AMREF here. AMREF started solving this very same problem by trying to train more midwives. The problem is not so much training more midwives. The problem is having the ones that are already on ground are helping them to do a much better job, and that's what we do. We don't only show the midwife what she's seeing, we try to interpret some of this data for her.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Okay. Whoa. I need my notes here. So, a lot of us thought that Google Glass was a way too futuristic trend for cyborgs in training. Here is an application of Google Glass that actually makes total sense. Claudio Leverenz, actually, from Glasschair in Germany will tell us more. Where is Claudio? So there you are.
Thank you, everyone. So hi, my name is Claudio and I'm from Glasschair. Imagine you would have to sit in a wheelchair and for some kind of reason you cannot use your hands. Many people have these problems and they are dependent on several different solutions to move forward or to be able to have mobility in their life. Therefore, we created Glasschair. Glasschair is a smart glass-based system which relies on the head movement of the user, so we can track the head movements and then make the wheelchair move in the direction of the head movement. So there are many problems that cause the people to have a limited mobility. There are, for example, diseases like Parkinson, muscular dystrophy, and others, but there are also injuries like spinal cord. Did you know that worldwide there are 250 to 500,000 spinal cord injuries each year? It's quite amazing and a huge number. But let's look at it from a different perspective. We estimated that in Germany we have around 1.56 million wheelchair drivers. 1/3 is around electric, and then around half of them are severely disabled people that cannot move all four extremities, which gives us a number of 100,000 potential customers that can benefit from this kind of product. Worldwide, this would be around 6 million people. So this is what we do. We provide an application that runs on smart glasses, so basically a normal glass that you all might wear today, that you can just put on. We connect it to a small adapter that we created to combine the smart glass with the wheelchair, which tracks the head movement. The smart glass tracks the head movement, sends the signal to the adapter, and then finally makes the wheelchair move. For the future, we don't see Glasschair as a steering application or as a steering system, but we want to create an everyday life assistant that can help these people with these disabilities to be more independent and to regain what's lost with their limited mobility. Right now, at the moment, we are 2 students. My name is Claudia and Shady is the second guy. We are 2 students from the Technical University in Munich. And we have already established a wide network with clinics, manufacturers, and smart glass manufacturers as well. We also have a video on YouTube, so if you want to check it out, just have a look. It gives you a better impression. I can also show it to you later on the table. And so for the moment, thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you later.
Thanks, Claudio. So stay up there, stay up there. Any questions for Claudio from Glasschair? Any questions? Yes.
Hi. How much individual adjustment would be necessary to learn to use this? Probably difficult for elderly people.
Basically, that's why we did also an age selection. So we have already selected a special age range that we think that is able to understand and learn the system very easily. And it's already, you can learn it very easily. You just sit down, have like 5 minutes, and you're already like, you can do it.
Thanks, Claudio. So, I'm one of the 300 million people in the world who have asthma, so the next finalist definitely has my attention. Please welcome Elad Fine from iFeel Healthy Israel.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elad from iFeel, and what we are focusing is on respiratory digital therapy, with one of them is really regarding asthma, and I'll be very glad to present it to you today. Our very large idea is that we want to do things and change the behavior and help people while they do things they love, like playing mobile games. How can you make a mobile game something that will help asthma patients, for example, or COPD patients? So just to take a real view, there is in the world around 334 million asthma patients, and much of the money that is in asthma goes to uncontrolled asthma. So more than 50% is due to asthma being uncontrolled. And this amount of fund could be saved using technology like ours. So as I said before, our idea is to use the mobile phone that everybody has in his pocket really to make a difference and help a respiratory patient. And this is with guidance of breathing, very simple and very fun. So the idea is simple. We have a device. You can come to our table and test it out. We put it currently on your finger or on the watch. And it checks how you breathe, give you a score of your lung function, and in the same time give you a guidance of how to breathe. So physiology of breathing, and you can play the game only if you breathe right. So if you don't breathe right, the screen becomes gray and you just cannot play it. That's for games, and really it's also a general app. You could run it on anything. So really to see the savings, so the cost of uncontrolled asthma in Europe is €2,281, and the cost of somebody who is controlled is €509. So just imagine the difference between the two. So currently we're already selling our devices because originally it was using for stress management, anxiety, so we are sold in the States. The device is FDA CE cleared. And we are starting our trials. So next week we are already in Apollo starting a trial. We started the trial in Hadassah with CF patients some weeks ago, and last week with Israeli Ministry of Education. So just join us in our booth and you could see it live and you could test it on yourself. And I hope we get as much benefit to the world as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Elad. Great. Do we have questions from the jury? Yes.
Hi. So who do you think will pay for it?
So we have several, so our current models, they change from country for country. For this example, with Apollo that we are just starting our pre-marketing medical trials, clinical trials. So here they will charge their clients for $1 a day in India for at least 3 months, and we get the benefit, the subsidy benefit, so it's B2B2C. In other cases, we have people that buy directly. So we have both cases in our team, but currently mainly is B2B2C via pharmacies or hospitals.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elad. So it was I just read in the news a couple of days ago that the mucho hyped American startup Theranos has now burned up in a glorious ball of flames. All the more reason for our next finalist. Please welcome, Jörn Bungartz and Midge Medical from Germany.
Hello. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. As you said, Jörn Bungartz, my name. I'm the managing director of Midge Medical. We plan to make it a lot better than Theranos did by basically using established technology, combining that technology in an innovative way to revolutionize the way that blood is sampled and tested. To give you a reference for how this is done today, I brought some pictures from a temporary hospital where malaria screening is done in Kenya. The way it's done today, you need a special training to actually sample the blood. With our system, it's going to be so easy that the patient can actually do that on her own. The way it's done today, you need to handle the blood out in the open, often in pretty unclean environments. So this is a problem too for infection risk and also for cross-contamination risks. With our system, the test is integrated, so there's no risk for that. in our solution. Also, patient management is a big issue. You can see solutions like these around. Therefore, our system will have an integrated patient management system. So, introducing midge. This is an integrated blood sampling and testing device that comes with a patient management system. This system is cloud-based and also runs on very low-end smartphones to support use in remote areas. The way this works is that when the patient comes for testing, they register, the picture is taken for identification. You use a new midge for each patient to get down infection risk. You scan the unique barcode that is attached to each device to associate this test to the patient. Peel off the protective cover. There's a disinfection pad inside this protective cover. You rub this disinfection pad onto the skin to disinfect the area where you will apply the device. Apply the device, put a little bit of pressure on the top, which will drive tiny microneedles just barely into the skin, get out some blood, make it a very painless process. The midge will stick there until the sampling is complete. And after a few minutes, you'll be able to read the test result from the underside of the device, scan it again using the smartphone app, and finally upload the results into the cloud. Just to give you an idea for the relevance of a system like this, I brought some numbers from the WHO, which are the million of malaria quick tests sold today. So these are the old style tests that you saw before. So just imagine for those 315 million tests that were done in 2014, we would have the data in a central system, how much better we could manage and control malaria on a worldwide scale. So disease management is a very important area of application for the device for us, but as you see here, we plan to also apply the device to other areas. For example, for authorities, use it in drug testing, doping control, and there's also areas for application in the consumer market. Thanks.
Perfect timing. Okay. Jörn, thank you. Stay up here. Question from Jörn.
Do you have IP for the device?
Yeah, we filed a patent application for the device, for the activation mechanism actually inside the device. As I said, we will use standard technology wherever possible to not go down the Theranos road. For example, we will integrate existing lateral flow tests into the device, so build on existing well-established and well-tested technology wherever possible. But yeah, there's IP for the device. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jörn. You practiced that right, that exact 3 minutes, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Not really planned like that.
So our, so many people, so many diseases, so many symptoms. Jama Nateki and Symptoma from Austria are here to help. Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Jama. I'm a medical doctor and co-founder of Symptoma. Symptoma is a search engine for diseases. The problem we are addressing is huge and affects all of us, because 1 in 7 diagnoses are misdiagnoses. Each year, 1.5 million lives could be saved with the right diagnosis. But what causes misdiagnoses? It's misinformation. Physicians have to consider more than 20,000 diseases at once, and this is more than they can handle. So what can we do about it? The medical knowledge has already been published, but it's really hard to retrieve the right data in a timely manner. There are already great approaches out there. Companies have tried to establish so-called symptom checkers since the 70s. However, their databases are by far too small in order to provide any sufficient accuracy, and furthermore, the results are often sorted by the alphabet only. So there's no help here for the physician either. We have developed Symptoma, a search engine for diseases. Physicians enter symptoms, birth year, and sex, and they receive a list of matching causes, sorted by the probability for the specific patient. And this is high technology. We have invested 7 years in research and development, and so far established the probably biggest disease database in the world, with 20,000 conditions and millions of connections to symptoms and statistics. Our proprietary algorithms deliver the results in a smart way, so the physician can actually handle the data. We are a team of 15. Both co-founders have been working as co-founders since 14 years. In our previous companies, we have already attracted 500 million visitors to our websites. We are operating at a profit since beginning. We have secured an investment close to €1 million last year, and we are already fending off acquisition offers. We have a freemium model in place. Physicians can use a small version of Symptoma for free, and they pay 25 euros for the full access. By the end of this year, we are going to reach 100,000 physicians through integrations into partner platforms. On top of that, we are kicking off enterprise and government sales. We have just landed a deal worth €500,000, and we are about to close deals worth €5 million within the next couple of months. Misdiagnoses are deadly and they are costly. And we show and demonstrate a 10x return on investment for our customers while saving lives. And this is what we are fighting for at Symptoma. Thank you.
Thanks, Jama. That was great. Do we have a question from the jury? No questions. We have a question from Jutta Klau.
Where do you get the data from about the symptoms then resulting in diagnosis, and how do you update it?
Great questions. Thanks to Ms. Clara. So we have developed a technology which is able to actually read and identify the medical publications regarding specific diseases and mining the associations to symptoms, lab results, risk factors and statistics. The challenge there is that publications are typically contradicting each other, so we had also to take into account the study design, the study quality, and the author reputation. And on top of that, afterwards, we had a review process in place because the technology got 90% of the data right, and we didn't know which 10% weren't right. So we had a review process in place where the medical physicians actually redundantly validated the data. And then the process doesn't stop there. For each respective disease, we invite patients themselves, they are experts, and we are inviting the experts on those respective diseases, in average 60 experts per disease. This is also how we updated it.
Thanks, Jama.
Thank you.
Awesome. So our next finalist promises to make Star Trek, what does he say? Promises to make Star Trek technology a reality. Please welcome Karsten, where's your name? Karsten Marenholz and Cold Plasmatech.
Hi, thank you for the nice introduction. Well, my name is Karsten Marenholz. I'm a co-founder at Cold Plasmatech, and we at Cold Plasmatech developed a Star Trek-like medical device that actually provides the solution to multi-resistant bacteria and chronic wounds. Medicine, actually our society is at the moment facing two big problems. One of the problems is wound infections and multi-resistant bacteria, a bacterial system that adapts to everything we throw at it. There are already around 800,000 cases in Germany that lead to roughly €3 billion of treatment costs per year in Germany. The other problems are chronic wounds. Imagine you have a wound that doesn't close anymore. It stays open, and all that medicine does is putting new wound dressings on, spider silk, electroshocks, whatever, it stays open. 4 to 6 million people actually do have this problem in Germany that causes €6 billion treatment expenses per year. The solution is pretty easy. Actually, Star Trek has developed a solution. It's called a dermal regenerator. What was science fiction became reality, actually. So this is called cold plasma. Cold plasma is a bioactive gas, a gas that influences both bacteria and cells. Bacteria are killed, including the multi-resistant ones, while cells are inducing cell growth, angiogenesis, and the activation of the immune system. Let me show you some examples. We're working together with the German National Reference Center for Multi-Resistant Bacteria, and they did the tests with our wound dressings. As you can see here, this is an MRSA strain, a highly multi-resistant strain, and this is killed within around 60 seconds. This is true for every tested bacteria, gram-positive and gram-negative. Actually, we did testing on wound patients too, and as you can see on the left picture, that actually wounds are closed within a very short time. This is a decubitus in a dog. This is a ruptured suture due infection, which had a closing time of 24 days. This was untreatable before. What we developed is an easy, safe, and cost-effective way to applicate this technology. It's called our plasma patch and the plasma cube. We're working together with big companies and looking forward to be pioneer in providing this complete new next step to modern medicine. Thank you.
Thanks, Carsten. Way up here. Questions? Or you can ask questions. Anybody have a question? Come on, somebody must have a question. Okay, I have a question. I'm prepared. What about burn wounds?
Oh, actually, yeah, burn wounds are... I showed you a burn wound. That was the very short picture. Burn wounds are likely to get infected. Around, in the best medical facilities, around 8% of the severely burned are dying. This picture here that I overrun is actually a patient, a 20-year-old patient that got severely burned because she was pouring over with gasoline and ignited. She had less luck because she got then infected with a 4-MRGN Pseudomonas aeruginosa. The emergency call came to us about 2 years ago, and I have to hurry up. And so we built like a plasma cannon of the plasma device that were available. They're very small scale. We treated her 6 hours in the morning, 6 hours the day after, and then she got to surgery, and she kept her transplant.
Great job. Thanks.
Thank you.
So strokes are the leading cause of second leading cause of disability next to dementia. Our next finalist, who asked me to say his name with an American accent, so I'll try that, Gerd Grauman from evivecare, has a really unique therapy to help stroke victims recover. Thanks, Gerd.
Thank you, Dan. It all happened very fast. Shortly after I was run over by a car in Spain, I found myself on a medical flight back to Germany. And here, all started to happen. With me in the plane was another patient who just had a stroke. And even though he had terrible speech problems, he tried to talk with me. I will never forget this experience. Over a decade ago, I started working in the speech recognition industry. And now I can use my experience with this technology to help stroke patients to speak again. From the 15 million people who have a stroke every year, more than 5 million people can't really speak very well after that anymore. Imagine you would be one of them and you would be sitting here today and you wouldn't be able to speak with anybody. How would that be? And if you would be like all stroke patients going to the speech therapist only once or twice a week if you have a speech condition, your chance of recovery would be pretty slim to ever speak again. In fact, think of having piano lessons once a week and you go home and you do not have a piano to practice. Would you ever learn how to play the piano? And the same is true for speech therapy. In fact, it takes an average of a minimum of 5 to 10 hours every week of speech therapy to regain your speech, especially in the first 6 months. But the high cost and the limited therapy resources makes it practically impossible to offer this to patients. So this has been a huge problem that has not been solved today. And here is what we do about it. By combining your weekly office visits with digital speech therapy multiple times daily at home, you can now practice as much as it takes to regain your speech. With our artificial intelligence system, we create personalized therapy, and using cutting-edge speech recognition technology, through that, Evive Speech is able to act dynamically and individualize every therapy right for the patient. To keep you motivated, you can listen to your past recordings and you can look at your success profile in terms of a graph. With Evive Cloud, you can not only practice together with your loved one at home or your family member, but we also connect you with the healthcare professionals. The experienced founder team, as well as the strategic investors and our advisory board of experts and patients help us and create this solution from the ground up for the speech therapy of stroke patients. We're fortunate that we already received some industry recognition and that we have substantial venture funding. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that you have a chance to talk to me.
Stay up here. Questions for Gerd?
Hi. What about the different languages and pronunciation within these different languages? How that's going to work?
Yeah, we built a language model, an acoustic model for speech therapy for every country. So we start in Germany, and we're working with linguists together, computational linguists and patholinguists. And that process we repeat basically for the major languages once we internationalize the product. It is much easier, though, to build the acoustic models than to really go into the different markets. But yeah, this is definitely a very important part of how to take this methodology and bring it out to the world and make it available to all the 5 million people eventually on this globe. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerd. A diagnosis of cancer is, for most people, a very overwhelming experience. CareAcross from Greece wants to help cancer patients better manage their lives. Please welcome Thanos Kosmidis from CareAcross.
Thank you. Cancer patients have limited guidance on nutrition, exercise, and well-being. This is because of capacity problems in the clinic and the doctors, generic programs, as well as very reactive nature in how we deal with well-being problems, psychosocial side effects, and so on. The patients themselves confirm this gap, and they say that clinicians are mal-informed. And overwhelmingly, they state that exercise, nutrition, and well-being problems burden their disease even further. At CareAcross, we're building a solution to this problem, a solution that's personalized, based on scientific guidelines, based on research, and driven by experts. Let's see how this works. Patients enter nutrition, exercise, and well-being information on a weekly basis. Combined with the diagnosis and treatment information and comorbidities, they get massed in our research database. These feed our algorithms, which in the end provide continuous guidance to these patients. A couple of points. No two individuals will get the same guidance, completely personalized. We are quantifying their performance and behavior in specific sub-areas so that they know exactly what they can do to perform better. And we have triggers in place for warning signs. You need to go to your doctor as soon as possible. What about our team? Our team addresses the right disciplines. Beyond our Chief Medical Officer, who is a past president of European Oncologists, we are supported by a scientific committee of 30 experts from 20 countries, like the ones you see on your right. And the business model, well, this is 100% free for patients. But the algorithm and the structure, if you see, can really help the industry. So diagnosis, treatment, and comorbidity information enable us to match patients with clinical trials. The rest of the data drives patient support programs, very important for them, as well as real-world evidence. Real-world evidence is driving force for pharma and biotech to actually improve their research processes. So speaking of the industry, it's large and it's growing. And these services, these three services are very important for them. Clinical trials are getting harder and harder to actually recruit for. Patient support programs are critical for cancer, which is becoming a chronic condition increasingly. And so this is helping them manage conditions and outcomes. And lastly, real-world evidence. This is how now and in the future pharma and biotech will shape their research portfolio and pipeline and actually shape their budgets. So we're making an impact on the industry, on research, as well as cancer patients every single day. Today, this service is piloted and we have a 99% positive feedback. We want to make an impact on even more cancer patients with your help. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Thanos. Do we have a question from the jury for Thanos? No questions. Yes, we have a question.
So if I understood correctly, you make money by providing patients research subjects for industry, for example, or other research partners, right?
That's correct.
Do you have research partners already?
So today, we provide services to pharmaceutical and biotech companies. So today we have clients in these areas, mostly in patient insight data. So it's very high-level data. So the idea is getting real-world evidence to actually drive patient-reported outcome for these companies, like the ones building new drugs for specific indications. So trying to understand what will actually make the best difference in terms of side effects, in terms of outcomes of disease.
And you make money with it already? No.
So we have contracts in place with pharmaceutical companies around patient insights and data for patients already, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Thanos. Yeah, so we've actually made it to our final finalist, who has a solution specifically geared to a women's health issue. Please welcome Urszula Wojciowicz and Pelvifly from Poland.
I'm here to improve the lives of over 1 billion individuals. My name is Urszula Wojciowicz. I am a researcher. I have been fascinated by women's health, in particular pelvic floor disorders, for the past 7 years. As such, in cooperation with Stanford, I have devoted all of my full attention and research to addressing these issues. Pelvic floor is a hammock of muscles. These muscles are similar to other muscles like triceps or biceps. They serve various functions in women's life, play a significant role during pregnancy and childbirth, supporting organs while moving, protect from urinary incontinence, and support healthy sexual life. 170 million women in Europe suffer from urinary incontinence. According to my published medical research, the time between the first symptoms and start therapy is an average 9 years. Show this a lack of knowledge and preventive care. I am a CEO of Pelvifly, and I believe revolutionizing women's health on a global scale. After years of research, we have found a new solutions to treatment urinary incontinence and preventive and rehabilitation pelvic floor disorders. I would like to present the new icon of women's healthcare. This is Pelvifly. The only solution have two very important components. As a product, easy access to specialists and attractive for women. We have a device, it's a kind of electronic tampon. This device connects with Pelvifly's mobile application that analyzes, shows and evaluates your pelvic floor muscle activity like a strength endurance on your smartphone screen. We created a telemedical platform that monitors your exercise and sends the data to gynecologists and physiotherapists. Our project is supported by business angels, Black Swan Fund. This funding has allowed us to develop, grow, and market fit our product. We also almost 100 paying customers and 20 case studies with impressive clinical results. I believe that Pelvifly can improve women's lives all over the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Urszula. Questions from the jury? Ah, the rest of the crew's coming up.
Our team, yeah.
Okay. Questions from the jury, anybody? Anybody have a question? Maybe from the audience? Anybody have a question? All the way back there. Oh, here's a question.
How does it work?
How does it work? Okay.
Great question.
You have to put this electronic tampon into the vagina. Of course, it's dedicated for women. And when you do the exercises, you see the results on the smartphone screen. Also, our physiotherapists prepare the training program, so it is customized for different goals and for different entry level. So then the report from the training goes to the physiotherapist, and we can do the training as effective as it is possible.
Okay? Okay, good, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So we've now come to the end of our startup track. The jury is now going to gather together and try to pick. I mean, I think we have 10 winners here, all have really amazing products, so I don't envy the jury trying to figure out which of the 10. Yes, please give a hand for everybody. There were 10 all really amazing ideas. The jury now has to figure out which of the 10 ideas is the one, probably the one that can have the biggest impact on world health. One thing I forgot to say before is that if you want to talk to any of these 10 finalists, they all have stands, like little booths right behind the yellow wall over there, and you can talk to them all day, and well, at least for the rest of the day, you can talk to them if you have any questions or get to know them better. Okay, thank you very much.